Welcome to our journey into the fascinating world of the cell. Today, we'll unravel the mysteries of the plasma membrane, also known as the cell membrane. This crucial boundary defines every cell, controlling what enters and exits. We'll explore its structure and function, starting with easy concepts and progressing to competitive level insights. Get ready for an exciting learning adventure. Let's begin with the basics, understanding what the plasma membrane is and why it's so important for every living cell. The plasma membrane is like the cell's outer skin. It's a very thin, flexible layer that surrounds the cell, separating its internal contents from the outside world. In animal cells, it's the outermost boundary. In plant cells, it's found just inside the rigid cell wall. Think of it as the gatekeeper, deciding what goes in and out. It's essential for maintaining the cell's unique internal environment. This vital membrane is primarily made up of two types of molecules, lipids, which are types of fats, and proteins. These components are arranged in a specific way to form its structure. One of its most important jobs is being selectively permeable. This means it's picky. It allows some substances, like water and essential nutrients, to pass through freely, while blocking others, especially harmful ones or waste products, from entering or leaving. Time to test your understanding of the easy concepts. Please answer these three questions. First, what is another common name for the plasma membrane? Second, can you name the two primary types of molecules that form the plasma membrane? And third, explain in your own words why the plasma membrane is described as selectively permeable. Take your time to think about these. Now, let's dive a bit deeper into the intricate structure and clever mechanisms of the plasma membrane. At a deeper level, the plasma membrane's foundation is a phospholipid bilayer. Imagine two layers of tiny molecules called phospholipids. Each phospholipid has a head that loves water, called hydrophilic, and two tails that fear water, called hydrophobic. These tails cleverly face inwards, away from the watery environments both inside and outside the cell, forming a protective, water-repelling core, while the heads face outwards towards the water. Embedded within and attached to this lipid bilayer are various proteins. We classify them into two main types: integral proteins, which are deeply embedded and often span the entire membrane, and peripheral proteins, which are loosely attached to the surface. These proteins are not just decorations, they perform crucial functions like transporting substances across the membrane, acting as receptors for cell communication, and even functioning as enzymes to speed up chemical reactions. The arrangement of these lipids and proteins isn't static, it's dynamic. This led to the widely accepted fluid mosaic model proposed by Singer and Nicholson in 1972. This model describes the membrane not as a rigid sheet, but as a fluid structure, much like a sea of lipids in which proteins are scattered and can move laterally, like icebergs floating. This fluidity is vital for many cellular processes. Substances cross this membrane through passive transport, which requires no energy, like diffusion and osmosis, or through active transport, which uses the cell's energy to move things against their natural flow. Let's consolidate your knowledge with 5 practice questions. 1. Describe the unique arrangement of phospholipids in the plasma membrane. 2. What is the core concept of the fluid mosaic model? 3. Name and give one function for two types of proteins found in the membrane. 4. How do active and passive transport differ? And 5. Why do the hydrophobic tails of phospholipids face the interior of the membrane? Ready to explore the sophisticated details of membrane function and the complex interactions that govern cell life? Beyond phospholipids and proteins, the plasma membrane also contains other vital components. Cholesterol, present in animal cell membranes, acts like a fluidity buffer, helping the membrane remain fluid at low temperatures and less fluid at high temperatures, ensuring its stability. Carbohydrates, often attached to lipids forming glycolipids or to proteins forming glycoproteins, create a fuzzy outer coat called the glycocalyx. This glycocalyx is critical for cell-to-cell recognition, allowing cells to identify each other, and plays a key role in cell adhesion, helping cells stick together to form tissues. The fluidity of the membrane is not just an interesting fact, it's fundamental to cell life. It allows for processes like cell growth, where the membrane expands, and cell division, where it pinches off. It also enables cell movement, the fusion of membranes, and the secretion of substances. This fluidity is influenced by factors like temperature, the amount of cholesterol, and the type of fatty acid tails in the phospholipids. Saturated tails pack tightly, reducing fluidity, while unsaturated tails have kinks that increase it. Membrane transport mechanisms are highly specific. Passive transport includes simple diffusion for small, nonpolar molecules like oxygen, facilitated diffusion for larger or polar molecules like glucose, which need protein channels or carriers, and osmosis, specifically for water movement. Active transport, however, needs cellular energy, ATP. Primary active transport directly uses ATP, like the sodium-potassium pump. Secondary active transport uses the energy stored in ion gradients created by primary active transport to move other substances. These diverse mechanisms allow the cell to precisely control its internal environment. Challenge yourself with these 7 questions. 1. Explain cholesterol's role in membrane stability. 2. How do saturated and unsaturated fatty acids affect membrane fluidity? 3. Differentiate simple from facilitated diffusion with examples. 4. Describe primary and secondary active transport. 5. What is the glycocalyx and why is it important? 6. How is membrane fluidity crucial for cell division? And 7. What happens to a red blood cell in a hypertonic solution and why? Prepare to delve into the cutting-edge concepts, historical milestones, and real-world applications of membrane biology. Our understanding of the plasma membrane has evolved significantly. Early pioneers like Overton noted lipid solubility, and Gotter and Grendel proposed the lipid bilayer. The Davso-Danieli protein-lipid-protein sandwich model provided an initial framework but struggled to explain selective permeability and membrane flexibility. It was the revolutionary, fluid mosaic model by Singer and Nicholson in 1972 that truly captured the dynamic, non-static nature of the membrane, with proteins embedded in a fluid lipid bilayer, allowing for movement and varied functions, overcoming the limitations of previous models. The plasma membrane exhibits remarkable asymmetry, meaning its two sides are not identical. The lipid composition of the inner and outer leaflets often differs. For example, phosphatidylserine is typically found on the inner leaflet, which is crucial for signaling. Membrane proteins also have a specific orientation, ensuring their active sites face the correct direction for their functions. This dynamic structure is constantly in motion through various processes: lateral diffusion, where lipids and proteins slide past each other, rotation around their axis, and flexion of their fatty acid tails. While flip-flop, the movement of a lipid from one leaflet to the other, is rare, it is facilitated by specific enzymes called flipases and flopases, maintaining this critical asymmetry. Specialized membrane proteins are the true workhorses. Channels are pores that allow rapid passage of ions or small molecules, often regulated by gating mechanisms, voltage-gated, ligand-gated, or mechanically gated. Carriers bind specific molecules, undergo conformational changes, and then release them on the other side. They can be uniporters, symporters, or antiporters. Receptor proteins are critical for cell communication, binding signaling molecules and initiating intracellular responses, like G-protein-coupled receptors. Some membrane proteins even act as enzymes, catalyzing reactions directly at the membrane surface, such as adenylate cyclase, which produces cyclic AMP, a crucial secondary messenger. The plasma membrane is also central to bulk transport mechanisms. Endocytosis is the process where cells engulf substances from their surroundings by forming vesicles. This includes phagocytosis for large particles like bacteria, pinocytosis for fluids and small solutes, and receptor-mediated endocytosis for highly specific uptake of molecules like cholesterol. Conversely, exocytosis is how cells release substances, such as hormones or waste, by fusing vesicles with the plasma membrane. Understanding these processes has profound implications, from developing advanced drug delivery systems using liposomes to creating biosensors that integrate membrane proteins to detect specific analytes, and even designing artificial organs like dialysis machines that mimic membrane filtration. Now, for the ultimate challenge. Here are the first 5 out of 10 competitive level questions. 1. Compare and contrast the Davso-Danieli and fluid mosaic models. 2. Explain membrane asymmetry for both lipids and proteins. 3. Describe different gated ion channels and their regulation. 4. How does the Na+K+ pump maintain resting membrane potential and what's its stoichiometry? 5. Differentiate phagocytosis, pinocytosis, and receptor-mediated endocytosis with examples. Let's continue with the remaining 5 questions. 6. Discuss the role of lipid rafts in membrane organization. 7. Explain how fatty acid saturation and cholesterol regulate membrane fluidity across temperatures. 8. How does a defective channel protein in cystic fibrosis highlight the importance of membrane proteins? 9. Elaborate on to biomedical applications of membrane properties. And 10. How do symporters and antiporters use electrochemical gradients for secondary active transport, with examples? We hope you've gained a comprehensive understanding of the plasma membrane, from its basic structure to its complex functions and real-world applications. For more in-depth learning resources, practice questions, and interactive content, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting educational content. Keep learning and exploring the wonders of biology.